Would you like to find out what's been holding you back this whole time from living the life that you want? Well, stay tuned and I'll show you just that. But in the meantime, welcome back to episode 5 of Motivated by Pain. I'll hit you with the animation and then we'll dive straight into it. This video is just a remake of episode 5, which I already uploaded. But in that episode, I used a few pictures that were not mine, and the owners of the pictures kindly approached me and warned me of copyright. So thank you very much, guys, for giving me the chance to learn something and to re-edit this video. So the thing that's been holding you back all your life is your own beliefs. Do yourself a favor, pause this video now, go back, rewatch episode 4, find out more about the 3 minds, then come back, watch this episode, put them head to head, and you'll see how much sense they'll make. Let's start by defining what a belief is. A belief is what makes you you. It's the building blocks of your personality. It's thought and feeling combined. Your beliefs affect every area of your life, from your relationships, to your self-esteem, to your work performance, up to your health, be it mental or physical. Through our beliefs, we define ourselves as strong or weak, worthy or unworthy, smart or stupid, healthy or unhealthy, rich or poor, happy or depressed, and so on. Don't confuse a thought with a belief. A thought is just that, an empty thought with nothing attached to it. A belief is a thought repeated so many times that it generated a feeling, or a past experience with a very strong emotion attached to it. Usually this comes under the form of trauma. Our past experiences are stored in the subconscious mind in the long-term memory base under the form of beliefs, attitudes, behaviors, and perceptions. And they create a perceptual filter through which we see the world and respond to life's challenges. Just like the lenses of this camera, for example. If you have strong beliefs, you have strong responses. If you have weak beliefs, you have weak responses. And that shows us that we don't see the world as it is, but we see it as we are. Our beliefs establish the limits of our life, and our thoughts and actions are the results of our beliefs. They work in this crazy loop. Take, for example, this picture. You see, our beliefs drive our behavior, which is how we think, how we act, and how we feel. Our behavior affects our experience, which is the results we're getting. And then our experience reinforces the belief. So if you have a negative belief, you can't really have a positive behavior, you can't feel positive, you can't think positive, and then you won't have a positive response, a positive experience, and then that negative experience will just reinforce the negative belief that you already have. Most of our beliefs were created between the stage of late pregnancy and around 7 years old. In that period, we operate purely from our subconscious mind because the conscious mind only develops after the age of 6 to 7 years old. And therefore, in that period, our mind works like a recorder, picking up every bit of information coming its way without being able to judge or analyze what's good or bad. So, if in your childhood someone called you names like called you stupid or fat or dumb, or told you can't do this or you can't do that, or you're not worthy of this or not worthy of that, it's very possible you created some negative beliefs that you're not even aware of. It works the same with habits and behaviors passed down onto us from our family, the ones around us, or the society. The power of belief allows individuals to cure themselves through mental healing. Take, for example, spontaneous remission. How do you think people got cured overnight of incurable diseases? Through the power of belief. Or how do you think people got from zero to hero against all odds? The same. In this context, you can take, for example, doctors back in the day where they used to give patients sugar pills for a certain condition, and the patient got cured miraculously. Once again, that was done through the power of belief. Now, when it comes to beliefs, there are 2 types of them. Conscious beliefs, which require only awareness and willpower in order to be changed, and they can sometimes change when you acquire new information and act on it. And then we have subconscious beliefs, where awareness and willpower are not enough to do the trick. Most of our subconscious beliefs are immune to reason, logic, motivation, and awareness. And if you use the wrong tools, they're gonna be very hard to change. And that's exactly the problem with psychotherapy. You just talk about the problem and you use the tools that only scrape the surface. You might have heard me speak in a previous episode about the RAS, which is the Reticular Activating System. Well, the RAS is just a scientific definition for karma, cause and effect, or the law of attraction. And this works like a filter that makes you focus on the things that you hold in your subconscious mind. So, for example, if you hold in your subconscious mind the belief that you're a healthy person, that's exactly what you'll be looking for in the outer world. ways to stay fit, like going for jogs, eating the right foods, sleeping properly, taking care of your mindset, like meditating, yoga, and all these things that keep you healthy. On the other hand, if you hold in your subconscious mind the belief that you're fat or unhealthy, that's exactly what you'll experience. You'll be looking for ways to gain fat, like eating the wrong foods, not sleeping properly, eating too much, not exercising, and all these things that keep you unhealthy. Now imagine how easy it would be if you placed your goals straight in your subconscious mind. You wouldn't have to rely so much on motivation and willpower, which at some point run out. Once you hold your goals in your subconscious mind, it will be just a matter of time until your body starts developing the corresponding feelings, and you'll soon enough start attracting them into your life. When it comes to creating or changing subconscious beliefs, you can do this in a few different ways. You can do it through NLP, you can do it through hypnosis, you can do it through suggestion or affirmation, or you can do it through Psyche, which is my favorite method. But for now, I'll just break down how to do it through suggestion and the power of affirmation. Doing this through suggestion is simply repeating affirmations at a specific time of the day and in a specific way. There are two types of suggestion: auto-suggestion, which is from yourself to yourself, or heterosuggestion, which is from the outside, and this can be under the form of tapes or specially designed programs for this purpose. The key here is repetition and consistency, as the repetition of the same affirmation that leads to creating the belief. And there are also a few key points you must follow in order to make sure the process is done right and understood by the mind. Number 1, you must state your affirmations in the present tense, like I am, I can, I have, I do, because as I said before, the subconscious is timeless. It only operates in the present moment. So if you give it future goals like I will be happy or I will be rich, this can be in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years. That's why you must make your affirmations sound like they already happened. Number 2, you must not use any negative words like nor, can't, don't, won't, never, because the subconscious doesn't understand negative words. So for example, if you're working around the topic of anger, if you say I don't want to be angry anymore, all your subconscious will understand is I want to be angry. Instead, try and look for the opposite of anger, which is calm. You can create your affirmation something like I'm so happy now that I'm a very calm person. Or if you're working around the topic of smoking, if you want to stop smoking, if you say I don't want to smoke anymore, your subconscious will be like I want to smoke. But instead, try and look for the opposite of the process you're doing. You can create your affirmation something like this: I'm so happy now that I stopped smoking and I live a healthy life. Number 3, you must make it as emotionally meaningful as possible. Try and put as much feeling and emotion behind the words. Don't just use empty words because they will never work. So when you create your affirmation, try and get into the state, get into the feeling. If you're using grateful or happy, just feel that positive vibration in your body and then use the affirmation. And number 4 is when you say your affirmations. The best time to do this is in the last 15 to 20 minutes before falling asleep and in the first 15 to 20 minutes of waking up. And this is because of something called the theta brainwaves. And I'll break down what these are just now. Our brain generates 5 different frequencies: alpha, beta, delta, theta, and gamma. And they are all specific for different states of consciousness. Beta is our normal wakeful state. Alpha is a relaxed mental state, like drowsy or half asleep. Delta is a deep dreamless sleep with no body awareness. Theta is a deep state of meditation and learning, and that's exactly what we're looking for. And gamma is a higher state of consciousness or problem solving. These were the 5 frequencies generated by the brain, but you can also get them from the outside under the form of binaural beats. And what binaural beats is simply just a form of brain entertainment music. If you do this, you must follow 2 points. 1, look for a frequency of 6 Hz, and 2, use headphones. And you'll find a link down in the description for the 6 Hz frequency. And that was all I had about affirmations for you guys. Now let's move on to explaining what Psyche is. Psyche is a spiritual process with mental, physical, and emotional benefits. It allows us to establish direct communication with the subconscious mind through a method called muscle testing. It also allows us to find out what negative beliefs we're holding, and we can change them in a matter of minutes with minimum effort. Psyche works through something called the whole brain integration. You might know that we all have 2 hemispheres of our brain, left and right. Left is the logical side, right is the creative side. We should all be able to use both sides simultaneously. But in any given situation, we over-identify with one side more than the other. Well, Psyche allows us to create this crosstalk in between the two hemispheres and use them both simultaneously through something called the corpus callosum, which is a very small part in between the two hemispheres. In order to ensure the success of the process, you need two things. You need to approach the process with curiosity instead of skepticism, and you need a clear intention to change. I've seen the process work with tens of people right in front of my eyes in the workshops I've done, and I can't tell you the success I've had with the people I've worked so far and in my own life. I've had so many negative beliefs, habits and behaviors that I managed to rewire in a matter of minutes. The process of Psyche can be done face-to-face, over the phone or video call. So if you have any self-limiting beliefs, negative habits or behaviors you want to change, don't hesitate to drop me an email and I'll schedule some time to work with you. And you've made it again for episode 5. Re-like, re-share, re-comment and re-subscribe. And remember, believe and you shall become.